Okay, so right now I'm outside of the Toronto Pan Am Center, and this was where most of the swim team meetings were held. And this year in grade 10, I decided to do something that I've never done before. Swimming has been a big part of my life since an early age, and it's led to me joining swim team in grade 9. I ended up doing pretty good, even getting MVP, but I felt like I was just sticking to my strengths, not pushing any boundaries. So this year, I decided to change that. Part 1. The Call to Adventure. In grade 9, although I ended up doing pretty good, I noticed that I never really pushed myself. So, as it came time to decide what we wanted to swim during the upcoming competition, I felt like I needed to do something new. And then I noticed, on the form for the events we were allowed to run, 50 meters butterfly. In swimming, there are 4 main styles, or strokes, that you can do, with butterfly being the hardest and the most energy consuming. Many on the team didn't even know how to do butterfly. I had always known the basics on how to do butterfly, but I had not been confident in it at all, let alone enough to do it in a competition. But that challenge made it perfect, and so I signed up. Part 2. Crossing the threshold. As the next practice rolled around, I was ecstatic. I got into the pool and started practicing. Butterfly can be very tiring to your whole body, especially if you are doing it for the first time in a while. And so eventually, after I burned through the initial adrenaline rush, I started to get a bit tired. I shrugged it off, however, which might have been a big mistake, as eventually, my leg started cramping really badly. It started to hurt and I couldn't move it. I tried to bend it, but it just wouldn't. It was cramped to the point where I had to get helped out of the pool. After that incident, I had to take a bit of time to recover, and this would scare me quite a bit. Part 3. Tests allies and enemies. Even after I got back to swimming, I started to feel anxious as the day of the competition was slowly approaching. I would lay in bed thinking, what if I cramp up again? What if I can't finish the race? This caused me to think of even forfeiting, just going back to only staying in my comfort zone. One day after practice, I brought these feelings up to my friend Cooper, and he gave me some advice.
Wouldn't it be better to try and fail than to not try at all?
And although I was still scared, in my heart, I knew he was right, and so I pushed on, until the day of the competition arrived. Part 4. The Ordeal. As we traveled on bus to the competition, I was still terrified, with all of those thoughts still in my head. At the competition, as I waited for my number to be called up, those thoughts I had before came back. You think that you, who cramped up during training, can race against these people who have probably been doing this for years? But then, I remembered what Cooper said to me, and as my number got called, I was ready.
Take your marks.
And so, I was off, my arms getting tired each second passing by. But I kept going, kept trying, and eventually, I was able to make it to the end. Part 5. The Reward. As I took off my goggles and cap, and looked up at the scoreboard, I felt accomplished. I managed to come top 3 in my race, and absolutely beat my previous time. On that day, I learned a valuable lesson. No matter the struggles, you can push through with enough effort. Just because you think you can't do something now, doesn't mean you won't be able to in the future, if you just take that first step. Although this will not be the last time something like this happens, I will just keep trying, keep swimming, and eventually run this again and win. Thank you.